Talk to me about kind of the history aspect of this film. We've really never seen this story before, from a story of a mixed race girl being raised in high society as an aristocrat. How does that hit you?
To me, it was incredibly refreshing. You know, I've been fascinated with this period through sort of my knowledge of Jane Austen stories, predominantly growing up. And so for me to be able to see that familiar classic period drama world, but told from a brand new perspective, as you said, from a mixed race girl's perspective in the 1780s, and it's based on a real painting, she really existed. That was incredibly exciting because I felt like it was an area of history that had been totally overlooked.
Especially on film, I think.
Absolutely, you know, and there's been plenty of films dealing with the African-American experience of slavery and you know, to great success. And I think what's interesting and makes Belle different is, you know, not only is it British, but it's also, you know, a female-centric story, a woman as the lead, also written by a woman, directed by a woman. And, you know, what's different about Belle, I think, also is that it explores the nuances of high society. You know, this isn't the brutality of slavery, it's more the genteel world that has benefited from it, but doesn't, you know, have it on its shores. So for me, that was very modern as well, a lot of kind of contemporary resonances in those themes.
I love the idea that somewhere somebody was looking at a painting and then fast forward to here we are today. Like, it ended up with this project.
Absolutely. I mean, when I first saw the painting, I actually saw a postcard at first, because the painting was up in Scotland and I wasn't in a position to get up and see it in the flesh. But I remember looking at the picture of Dido there and just seeing her mischievous gaze and her bright eyes, and she just seemed to have so much personality about her compared with a lot of paintings of the period, which are quite stiff and subdued. And I thought, oh wow, this girl's interesting. She's obviously, I don't know, perhaps a little feisty, perhaps a little, I don't know, I endowed her with all of this personality, and I was really concerned with trying to bring that to life.
How did you become her? Because it is so complex. Her story is fascinating, but it's multi-layered.
Yes.
And I feel like you can't really think about all of the bigness of it.
No, and it, you know, it's fascinating, you know, in a sort of analytical way to discuss the themes at this point, but actually in person on the day, you know, I was much more concerned with, you know, creating a living, breathing human being. And you know, the nuances of the love story for me really was what drew me into the story. I think, you know, if you engage your emotions on a story, no matter how heavy the issues that it deals with, hopefully if your heart is connected, then you know, those issues kind of go in subliminally and you know, you're touched by it.
Was it a different story for you because it's directed by a woman? Did that make a huge difference to you?
Absolutely. I mean, Amma Asante, who's the director, you know, she has such a wonderful grace and elegance about her as a person, and I think that comes through and her taste and the aesthetic in the movie. You know, it's very romantic, it's very feminine, it's sweeping, and you know, we had this wonderful score done by a woman as well. Rachel Portman does the music. So there's certainly, you know, this is a very female-centric story, and I think, you know, having Amma at the helm, you know, she had many ideas that she wanted to bring out in the story, and from her own life as well. I know that the, you know, father-daughter relationship is another love story, if you like, in the film, and you know, showing Dido's journey through that and becoming a woman.
Made in Hollywood.